Welcome to By the Numbers, where with the help of my AI assistant Tars, Fanda, we'll gather the data on all your favorite fictional worlds.
Tars was my roommate in college.
In today's installment, we'll be analyzing the films of Christopher Nolan, who since 1998 has achieved worldwide prestige as one of the last remaining auteurs. His 11 feature-length films have been nominated for 36 Academy Awards, collected $4.94 billion at the worldwide box office, and have a 75 average on Metacritic. Also, 7 of his 11 films are in the IMDb Top 250. Not bad for a guy who makes movies that actually expect you to pay attention. There are some trends across Nolan's films that we believe are worthy of further investigation. First, we'll take a look at his love of time and nonlinear storytelling. Then, we'll examine the archetypical Christopher Nolan character types and the actors who play them. After that, Fanda will look for moments that involve all the items stolen and heists he loves to sprinkle throughout his films. Finally, we'll toss in some fun categories that cover the other Nolan trends that we noticed. Now it's time for the time category. Here's what I want to know. How many times did characters mention time, and how often do we see ticking clocks, or just clocks that are haunting Al Pacino? And how many different timelines are there across all of his films? Fanda, the data please.
The data will be ready in 5, 2, 8, 4, 9, 1.
What?
This is a Nolan episode, Spencer. Time is about to get wanky.
Since 1998, the 11 Nolan-directed films have mentioned time 389 times. The words time, seconds, minutes, hours, or countdown clocks are very important to Nolan, and on average they're mentioned or seen once every 3.75 minutes during the 1,459-minute combined running time of all of his movies. The biggest offender is Interstellar, which reminds viewers 78 times about space-time, travel time, and fifth-dimensional time. If you include the word year, the total jumps up to 124. When it comes to timelines in Nolan films, there are a total of 29 timelines overall, going back to the first 4 timelines and following. Inception wins the timeline trophy with 5. During the finale, Cobb, Saito, Ariadne, and Robert all exist in reality, dreams 1 through 3, and limbo. It's a lot. The words dreams, dreaming, dream, subconscious, kick, and limbo are mentioned 153 times throughout the movie. Nolan has a great deal to explain, and precious little time. My favorite bit of timeline Nolanery is in Memento, with its 44 different scenes that bounce back and forth between color and black and white. The color scenes move the story backwards, while the black and white scenes move the story forward. I'll let Nolan explain it.
You have the beginning of the film here. What's the best way to draw it?
Never mind. Let's move on. Fanda, analyze the characters and actors who inhabit Nolan's films. Here's what I want to know. Which character's name is said the most? I bet it's Murph. Has to be. Murph! How many movies feature characters having doppelgangers, clones, twins, or people from the future around at the same time as they are? And which actor has appeared in the most Nolan films?
Scanning.
This thing needs to learn how to adapt, Murph.
Scanning.
Hey, Murph.
It's definitely going to be Murph.
I knew it! When it comes to characters' names being mentioned, Murph from Interstellar is mentioned 83 times, or 1 Murph every 2 minutes. Murph is followed closely by Leonard or Lenny in Memento, whose name gets dropped 53 times, or once every 2.13 minutes. It's an odd stat, but I really had to get my Murph math right once and for all. Dating back to 1997's Doodlebug, Nolan is all about creating 2 or more of someone, or having an identical twin or lookalike. Overall, there are 52 doubles, doppelgangers, copies, or impersonators that I can count. I have no idea how many Angier clones are created, and it's impossible to know exactly who's who during the final battle in Tenet. The one judgment call I made that stretches the numbers is that since DiCaprio's Cobb is copied across 5 timelines during the finale of Inception, I added 5 of him and 5 of the others who are in limbo with them. If you don't think that's legit, subtract 25 from the total. And last but not least, when it comes to actors who've been in main or glorified cameo roles, Michael Caine has been in the most Nolan films and played the most characters. Duh. So far, he's been in 8 of Nolan's movies and played 6 different characters in Batman Begins, The Prestige, The Dark Knight, Inception, Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, Dunkirk in a quick voice cameo.
And keep an eye on that gauge, even when it gets lively. Save enough to get back.
And Tenet. Close behind him is Cillian Murphy, who with the upcoming Oppenheimer will build his number to 6 Nolan films. Not bad. One neat bit of info is that Jeremy Theobald has had the longest acting career with Nolan. He appeared in Nolan's early short films dating back to 1996, then he starred in Following, and 22 years later was a snooty steward in Tenet. Next up, ever since Following, Nolan's characters have been stealing things or planning big heists. Fanda, can you pull the numbers please on who stole the most and how many heists there've been?
Scanning. Scanning.
I'm only burning my half.
You really should watch your wallet or mob money if you live in a Christopher Nolan movie, because every single Nolan film features a character stealing something. from items as small as a seahorse to as big as a spaceship or a microwave emitter that almost destroys Gotham. I don't have specific cost details on the value of the plutonium in Tenet or the spaceship that Matt Damon steals in Interstellar, but I do know, based on a Fun Data article by Fanda's human research assistant Mark Hofmeyer, that the Joker's cash pyramid is made up of 468,000 stacks of cash. Assuming that's all $100 bills, it totals to $4,680,000,000.
You see, I'm a guy of simple taste.
So if we only stick with big pre-planned swipes, there have been 15 major heists, including the bank heist in The Dark Knight, Leonard taking Jimmy's clothes in Memento, and Angier stealing Alfred's act in The Prestige. Hey Fanda, while you were scanning, did you notice anything else interesting?
Nolan loves snowy mountains. Insomnia, Batman Begins, The Prestige, Inception and Interstellar all feature them. 8 of Nolan's 11 films feature dramatic airplane sequences. 61. This is the number of suits, suit coats, or tuxedos worn by the main protagonist or main jealous magician of each film. Robert Angier in The Prestige wears the most with 21 different outfits involving a suit coat or tuxedo. Prisons in Nolan's Batman world are pretty escapable. In Batman Begins, prisoners escape Arkham Asylum, the Joker escapes a jail cell in The Dark Knight, and Bruce Wayne jumps out of the pit in The Dark Knight Rises. Nolan's first 3 feature-length films following, Memento and Insomnia, all feature plots driven by the murder of a woman. Across all his films there are 7 dead wives or love interests, and 80.7% of the main roles in his casts are male.
Thank you again, Fanda. We'll see how these numbers change after Oppenheimer, and until then, let us know what you want to see tracked next in the comments below. Thanks for watching.